good transition because I wanted to get to the content, the social media content. When did you start posting your videos and sketches? And when did you start doing it consistently?
So I don't know if you remember this thing called Vine. I think it was like 2014 or
Yep.
15. I used to do Vine, and
Oh, okay.
I was consistent with it. And the team was like Simone Shepherd. It's another big girl. She's dating Tommy Lee. Damn it, I can't think of her name right now. And we used to all shoot these vines, Doughboy and Nate Jackson. And it's crazy to see everybody else where they're at in their success now. But we used to shoot these vines, and it used to take like an hour and a half to shoot a 6-second vine, because if you messed up or anybody missed a cue, you had to start all the way back up. It wasn't no editing back then. You know, you had to delete and scratch. All right, guys, and one more time. And make sure you get it right, Justin.
Straight
It was
up.
like that, you know? So, yeah, so I started on Vine, and I remember saying to myself, this ain't going nowhere. What is this? This is a waste of my time. And I'm going to focus on stand-up. So I did stand-up every night. And then fast forward, they had this sketch show on BET called 50 Central. And I was up for that show. And I tested for it. And I wasn't even going to put out my audition tape. I wasn't even going to send it. And I looked at it and was like, nah, nothing. So then they asked for these characters, and the casting director hit me up personally, and she was like, yo, where your tape at? So I was like, okay, I'll put it out. So I ended up putting it out, and I got picked to go to the thing, and they ended up not picking me. They picked some other people. And I remember seeing somebody that worked at BET like months later, and they were like, you were really good. You were chosen. Sometimes it just comes down to, other things. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked at the people they picked, and I saw they had like a social media following. And I said to myself, yo, I'm never going to leave money on the table again. Cause I always don't ever want that to be a factor. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, fast forward, that was, July 2017, I hit up Jahan Jones. It was like, hey man, I want to shoot some sketches. And Jahan said, well, I'm going to go over Simone Shepherd and Kieran's house, and you come over there, just meet me over there. And I met over there. It was Donovan and Delay. So then I started to like learn from them and learn the system of how to create content. And I wasn't really growing there, you know what I mean? So it took for me to step out and do stuff on my own. That's why I always tell people, don't think you just gonna get with a team and grow. You got to be doing your own shit. It's just like when you do stand up, you could open up for somebody for years, but if you ain't trying to get an agent and do auditions and do all this other stuff, you're just gonna be stuck up under that person, and you're not gonna grow. You're gonna stay stagnant with that person, right? So it took for me to go out and do my own things and collab and come up with ideas and stuff, and be consistent. And I stayed consistent with that. Like in the beginning, I was putting out 4 to 5 videos a week, because back in the day it was minute content, and I used to talk a lot of trash. That's how I first grew, was relationship stuff on just talking to the camera. And then I eventually would start collaborating with people, because I'm really good at improv. So if you give me a premise, you don't have to write no lines for me. I can go. So that's why a lot of people wanted to work with me. And so it's not like I ain't gonna be the prettiest girl there, but shit, you ain't gotta do nothing. I can write her lines, my lines, your lines, let's go. You know what I mean? So just ended up collaborating with people, just staying consistent, putting out content. And then
And this is on Instagram, Facebook. Which platform are you using
I
at this
tell
point?
people, you always put it on every platform. You never know where you're gonna hit. So I was Facebook back in the day. It was just Facebook and Instagram, right? And YouTube. So I was doing those 3, and then eventually I added TikTok. So just putting that content out consistently. And I remember 2018, they opened up monetization for me. So I got approved like July 2018. And then so I tested for SNL like a couple of months later.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I tested. They flew me to New York. I got flued out.
Okay.
And I tested, and they didn't pick me. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go hard and create my content. Now I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get out because back then I was doing the minute content, and you couldn't really monetize on Facebook. So then I started cranking out that 3-minute content, that long form content, and then just started making money. January 2018 is when I got approved, but I didn't make that much money the first 6 months. It was just like, it was barely $1,000. But when January, when I came back and they didn't pick me, I said, you know what? It's time. I'm not gonna lose. And I turned that shit into what it is today, and that's being consistent. I don't shoot as much as I used to, but I'm still out here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
I have
how.
over 500. I think 600 sketches. So,
Whoa, that's
what more
amazing.
y'all want from me?
they want it all. You know, people don't never get enough. That's what I was gonna ask you. How many videos do you feel like you put out a week now or a day? You know, on TikTok or whatever.
Well, because I'm doing the TikTok and the stuff now, so I'm just back on it because my goal now is to grow Instagram because for years, I think a year and a half, I didn't post on Instagram, but very rarely because it was the only site that wasn't monetized. So I didn't put my focus there, but I've been going hard. I just hit a little over 400K. By posting, posting to Reels and IGTV and making posts. And doing stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just saw they opened up monetization for like IGTV on Instagram.
It's been open since last year.
Oh shit! Well, I need to. They just told me about it last week. It was like, hey, Justin, to nudge me, I guess, to start putting out content on them platforms. Yeah, I know what you mean by not having a social media following, and that could not get you selected for something. Because when they was bringing back Wild 'N Out, like the first time, not even this new after it got taken off the air, but like when Nick was first bringing it back, and it had like Carlos, and they started bringing back all those Chico and those.
Be about comedians, yeah.
Yeah, so I tested for that. I was in that last round. That was before MacGyver and Rush Hour and all that shit, and when I didn't get selected, one of the producers like, Justin, we like you. If someone don't do it, we go hire you. But it still came down to when I looked at who got picked, a lot of those people were social media people. And I felt the same way, like, damn, I was like, I need to get my social media followers up or something because, that was a reason I feel like why I didn't get selected. So I know how that is.